Narendra Modi, India's 14th Prime Minister, has had a remarkable journey from his humble beginnings to becoming one of the most prominent political figures on the global stage. Let's delve into his early life, family, and educational background to understand this incredible journey. Narendra Damodar Modi was born on September 17, 1950, in Vadnagar, a small town in the state of Gujarat, India. He was born into a modest family of grocers. Modi's family belonged to the Ganchi community, which is considered part of the other backward classes, OBC, in India. Modi's family consisted of his parents, Damodar Modi and Hiraban Modi, and 5 siblings. He had a relatively simple upbringing in a nondescript town, which instilled in him values of hard work and discipline from an early age. Modi's education started at the local school in Vadnagar, where he displayed an early interest in debates and drama. He completed his higher secondary education in Vadnagar but faced financial constraints that affected his further studies. After completing his schooling, Modi briefly worked with his father at the family tea stall. However, he had a strong desire to pursue higher education. He left home at a young age and traveled extensively across India, visiting various ashrams and studying different philosophies. During this time, he also explored the Himalayas and spent time in Rishikesh. Modi's quest for knowledge eventually led him to the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh (RSS), a right-wing Hindu nationalist organization. His association with the RSS marked the beginning of his political journey. Narendra Modi's political journey started as an RSS pracharak campaigner in Gujarat. He became actively involved in grassroots activities and quickly rose through the ranks of the RSS and its affiliated organizations, such as the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP). Modi's first major political role came in 2001 when he was appointed as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He assumed office at a challenging time, following the devastating Bhaj earthquake. Under his leadership, Gujarat made significant strides in economic development, earning him both praise and criticism. However, his tenure as chief minister was marred by the 2002 Gujarat riots, a period of intercommunal violence that resulted in significant loss of life and displacement of communities. Modi faced severe criticism for his handling of the situation, and it continues to be a contentious issue in his political career. Despite these challenges, Modi's popularity within the BJP grew, and he was appointed as the prime ministerial candidate for the party in the 2014 general elections. In a historic victory, the BJP won a majority of seats, and Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India. Since assuming office as Prime Minister, Modi has focused on an ambitious agenda of economic development, infrastructure, and social programs. His leadership style, charisma, and communication skills have made him a prominent and influential figure not only in India but also on the global stage. Narendra Modi's rise in Indian politics is a remarkable journey marked by various milestones. Here's an overview of his political ascent. Modi's political journey began with his early association with the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh (RSS), a Hindu nationalist organization. He joined the RSS as a pracharak campaigner in his youth, which involved propagating the organization's ideology and participating in grassroots activities. Modi's entry into active politics occurred in the early 1980s when he joined the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP), the political arm of the RSS. He quickly gained recognition for his organizational skills and dedication to the party's ideology. Modi's rise through the political ranks within the BJP was swift. He served in various organizational roles, including as the General Secretary of the Gujarat unit of the BJP. His efficient organizational abilities were evident in the 1995 BJP National Convention held in Mumbai. One of the defining moments in Modi's career came in 2001 when he was appointed as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He took office during a challenging period, just after the devastating Bhudge earthquake. Despite the initial skepticism, his leadership was praised for the state's swift recovery and economic development. Despite the controversy surrounding the 2002 riots, Modi was re-elected as Chief Minister of Gujarat in 2007 and 2012. During his tenure, Gujarat made significant progress in areas like infrastructure, industrial development, and agriculture. In 2013, Narendra Modi was named the Bharatiya Janata Party's (BJP) prime ministerial candidate for the 2014 general elections. This marked a significant milestone in his political career. He campaigned extensively, leveraging his charisma and oratory skills. In the 2014 general elections, the BJP, under Narendra Modi's leadership, won a historic mandate, securing a majority of seats in the Lok Sabha, the lower house of India's parliament. Modi became the 14th Prime Minister of India. Modi's tenure as Prime Minister from 2014 to 2019 was marked by several ambitious initiatives, including Make in India, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Clean India, and Digital India. In the 2019 general elections, he led the BJP to another decisive victory and was re-elected as Prime Minister. As Prime Minister, Narendra Modi has played a significant role in shaping India's foreign policy and strengthening its international relationships. He has engaged in diplomacy with world leaders and represented India on the global stage. Narendra Modi's tenure as the Chief Minister of Gujarat, a state in western India, was marked by both achievements and controversies. Gujarat witnessed impressive economic growth during Modi's tenure as Chief Minister. The state consistently recorded high GDP growth rates and attracted significant investment, earning the moniker of India's growth engine. Gujarat became a hub for industries such as petrochemicals, textiles, and manufacturing. The state's pro-business policies and infrastructure development initiatives contributed to its economic success. Under Modi's leadership, Gujarat underwent substantial infrastructure development. This included the construction of roads, ports, and industrial zones. The state's improved connectivity and logistics infrastructure benefited businesses and trade. Gujarat introduced several agricultural reforms aimed at improving productivity and income for farmers. Initiatives like water management and soil health programs were implemented to enhance agricultural practices. Modi initiated the Vibrant Gujarat Summit, an event aimed at attracting investment and fostering economic growth. It brought together business leaders, policymakers, and investors from around the world, showcasing Gujarat's potential as an investment destination. The most significant controversy surrounding Modi's tenure as Chief Minister was the 2002 Gujarat riots. The violence, which occurred in the aftermath of a train fire in Godhra, resulted in the deaths of over 1,000 people, primarily from the minority Muslim community. Modi faced widespread criticism for his handling of the riots. Critics accused him of not doing enough to quell the violence and failing to protect the minority community. These allegations continue to be a contentious issue in Indian politics. Modi's governance style was often described as authoritarian and centralized. While his strong leadership was credited with driving economic growth, it also drew criticism for being exclusionary and less consultative. Critics argued that Gujarat's economic progress was not matched by proportional improvements in social development indicators such as healthcare and education. the state lagged behind in areas like child malnutrition and access to quality education. Modi faced allegations of misuse of state machinery when it was revealed that a woman architect's movements were allegedly monitored without her consent. The incident was referred to as Snoopgate and raised concerns about privacy and surveillance. The 2014 Indian general election was a historic and transformative moment in Indian politics, largely defined by Narendra Modi's leadership and the Bharatiya Janata Party's (BJP) campaign. Here's an analysis of this pivotal election. Modi's campaign centered on the promise of economic development and growth. He stressed the need for good governance, investment, and infrastructure development to boost the Indian economy and create jobs. The Indian National Congress, Inc., led United Progressive Alliance, UPA, government had faced allegations of corruption, policy paralysis, and slow economic growth. Anti-incumbency sentiment was high, and many voters were seeking change. National security and foreign policy were significant issues, especially in the backdrop of border tensions with Pakistan and China. Modi's tough stance on these matters resonated with many voters. Modi projected himself as a strong, decisive leader who could provide stable and efficient governance, in contrast to what he portrayed as the indecisiveness of the UPA government. Modi held an extensive campaign with numerous rallies and public addresses across the country. His effective use of technology, including holograms and social media, ensured that his message reached a vast audience. This catchy slogan, which translates to "This time, a Modi government," became a rallying cry for his supporters and reinforced his image as a leader of change. The BJP built alliances with regional parties to strengthen its electoral prospects in different states. The National Democratic Alliance, NDA, led by the BJP, included several regional parties. Modi's campaign team recognized the power of social media in reaching young voters and urban populations. His active presence on platforms like Twitter and Facebook helped mobilize support and counter opposition narratives. Under Modi's leadership, the BJP secured a historic victory, winning 282 seats out of 543 in the Lok Sabha, the lower house of India's parliament. This marked the first time in 30 years that a single party had won a majority on its own. Modi's government initiated several policy reforms, including the Make in India campaign to promote manufacturing, Digital India to boost technology and connectivity, and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan for cleanliness and sanitation. Modi's foreign policy approach, marked by assertiveness and an emphasis on strengthening international ties, received attention. He engaged with world leaders and sought to position India as a key player on the global stage. His government introduced economic reforms such as the Goods and Services Tax, GST, and measures to improve the ease of doing business. These reforms aimed to streamline taxation and attract foreign investment. While Modi's leadership style was applauded by supporters, it also faced criticism for being authoritarian. Critics raised concerns about religious tensions and freedom of expression. Narendra Modi's tenure as Prime Minister of India has been marked by several key economic policies and initiatives aimed at boosting economic growth and development. Here's an assessment of some of these policies and their impact on the Indian economy. Make in India was launched in 2014 with the goal of transforming India into a global manufacturing hub by promoting domestic production across various sectors. The initiative encouraged foreign and domestic companies to invest in manufacturing facilities in India. This led to an increase in manufacturing activity and job creation. The government introduced reforms to improve the ease of doing business, making it more attractive for companies to set up operations in India. While Make in India showed promise, progress has been mixed across sectors. Some industries, such as electronics and automotive manufacturing, witnessed growth, while others faced challenges. Digital India, launched in 2015, aimed to digitally empower citizens and enhance the country's digital infrastructure. The initiative expanded access to the internet and digital services, particularly in rural areas. It promoted the use of digital platforms for various services, from payments to education. Digital India played a role in the growth of India's fintech sector, leading to greater financial inclusion and digital payments adoption. Despite progress, challenges such as the digital divide and cybersecurity concerns persist. The GST, implemented in 2017, aimed to replace a complex system of indirect taxes with a unified tax structure, streamlining taxation and reducing economic inefficiencies. CGST simplified the tax structure by unifying multiple state and central taxes into a single system. This reduced compliance burdens for businesses. GST promoted economic integration by enabling the seamless movement of goods and services across state borders, benefiting businesses and consumers. The rollout faced initial challenges, including technical glitches and adjustment difficulties for businesses. However, many of these issues were addressed over time. The Modi government introduced a series of economic reforms, including bankruptcy code reforms, deregulation, and liberalization measures to improve the business environment. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, IBC, expedited the resolution of distressed assets, improving the efficiency of the financial system. The government eased foreign direct investment, FDI, rules in various sectors, attracting foreign investment and promoting economic growth. While these reforms were significant, economic growth remained uneven, with some sectors outperforming others. The government launched programs like Skill India and Startup India to promote skill development, entrepreneurship, and job creation. Skill India aimed to enhance the employability of the Indian workforce. Several skill training programs were initiated, benefiting millions of young Indians. Startup India encouraged entrepreneurship and innovation. India witnessed a startup boom, with numerous new ventures emerging. Narendra Modi's foreign policy initiatives have sought to bolster India's presence on the global stage and address regional challenges. Here are key aspects of Modi's foreign policy. Modi initiated diplomatic engagements with various world leaders, including multiple visits to countries like the United States, Russia, China, and Japan. These visits aim to strengthen diplomatic ties, enhance economic cooperation, and promote India's interests. Modi's personal rapport with world leaders, such as former U.S. President Barack Obama and Russian President Vladimir Putin, played a crucial role in fostering bilateral relations. The Act East policy, an extension of the previous Look East policy, aimed to deepen India's engagement with Southeast Asian and East Asian nations. This policy focused on expanding economic and strategic ties with countries like Japan, Vietnam, and Indonesia. It included infrastructure development projects, increased defense cooperation, and enhanced connectivity. Modi faced a significant challenge in managing the border dispute with China. The 2017 Doklam standoff highlighted tensions along the disputed border. Diplomatic efforts, including summits with Chinese President Xi Jinping, were aimed at de-escalation and peaceful resolution. India's relations with Pakistan, a member of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC, remain strained due to ongoing conflicts. As a result, Modi pushed for greater cooperation within the BRICS group, which includes China and Russia, as an alternative forum for regional engagement. India under Modi played an active role in global climate change negotiations. India's commitment to the Paris Agreement and initiatives like the International Solar Alliance demonstrated its willingness to address environmental challenges. Modi's government responded to the COVID-19 pandemic by providing medical assistance to other countries, showcasing India's commitment to global public health cooperation. The Modi government pursued trade agreements and economic partnerships with various countries, including the United Arab Emirates, UAE, Australia, and France. These agreements aimed to boost economic growth and enhance India's trade relations. India's defense and security cooperation with the United States grew significantly during Modi's tenure. The two countries signed defense agreements, including the Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, LEMOA, and the Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement, BECA. India worked closely with other nations on counter-terrorism efforts, emphasizing the need for a united global front against terrorism. Narendra Modi's leadership has been marked by both significant achievements and controversies, with critics raising concerns in several areas. Critics argue that Modi's government has promoted Hindu nationalism, which they believe can be divisive and detrimental to India's secular fabric. Some allege that Hindu extremist groups have gained influence under his leadership. Some critics argue that under Modi's tenure, there has been an erosion of freedom of expression and an increase in intolerance towards dissent. They point to incidents like the murder of intellectuals and writers and instances of censorship. Concerns have been raised about the independence of the media, with accusations of self-censorship and pressure on journalists to align with the government's narrative. Modi's decision to demonetize high-denomination currency notes in 2016 was criticized for its economic impact, particularly on small businesses and the informal sector. The strict nationwide lockdown imposed in response to the COVID-19 pandemic led to concerns about the impact on vulnerable populations, including migrant workers who faced hardships. Modi's handling of the border dispute with China has faced scrutiny, with some critics suggesting it has not yielded significant gains for India. Some argue that Modi's economic policies have not done enough to address economic inequality and disparities in wealth. Critics point to concerns about environmental degradation and deforestation, particularly in projects related to infrastructure and industrial development. It's important to note that opinions on Modi's leadership are deeply divided, with many supporters highlighting his government's achievements in economic development, infrastructure, and foreign policy. They argue that his leadership has brought India onto the global stage and improved the ease of doing business. The assessment of Narendra Modi's leadership is complex and often driven by political, ideological, and personal perspectives. Public opinion in India is diverse, reflecting a vibrant democracy where different viewpoints and debates play a crucial role in shaping the nation's direction. Narendra Modi has received various accolades and recognitions on the global stage, underscoring his significance in international politics and diplomacy. Narendra Modi has been featured multiple times in Time magazine's annual list of the world's most influential people. His inclusion reflects his global impact and leadership. In 2018, Modi was honored with the United Nations' highest environmental honor, the Champions of the Earth Award. He received this recognition for his leadership in addressing environmental issues and promoting sustainability. Modi has undertaken numerous foreign visits and participated in high-profile international events, strengthening India's diplomatic ties and global presence. His engagements with world leaders, including the United States, China, and Russia, highlight his role in global politics. As the Prime Minister of India, Modi has actively participated in G20 summits, where world leaders discuss critical global issues, economic policies, and international cooperation. Modi's leadership has been instrumental in India's active participation in groups like BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, enhancing India's standing in these forums. During his tenure, Modi has signed numerous bilateral agreements and memoranda of understanding, MOUs, with various countries, fostering economic, strategic, and diplomatic relations. Modi attended the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, in 2018, where he delivered the keynote address, emphasizing India's commitment to global economic cooperation and reform. The Prime Minister has addressed global business and investment forums, attracting international attention to India's economic growth and potential as a business destination. These recognitions and engagements underline Narendra Modi's role as a prominent leader on the global stage and his commitment to advancing India's interests in the international community. In conclusion, Narendra Modi's journey from a small-town boy to the Prime Minister of India has been nothing short of remarkable. His leadership has left an indelible mark on Indian politics and the nation's development. Whether you view him as a dynamic reformer or a controversial figure, there's no denying that he has changed the face of India in many ways. As we look ahead, it will be fascinating to see how his legacy continues to shape the world's largest democracy. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Narendra Modi's life and career. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. And as always, we welcome your thoughts and comments below. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious.